Hi guys, this is Julia for Casual Fridays, and today I want to show you how you can do gradient stamping with the MISTI stamping tool. Now, you do not need the MISTI to do this, but it makes life so much easier. Let me show you how. So first of all, I'm going to be using these stamp sets by Casual Fridays. Beautiful background and amazing words that can be used as the focal point of a card. The products will be listed in the video description below as always, and I'm also going to be using those reverse confetti edge dies, and I used this die here to cut the front panel of my card base, and I'm going to be using this panel and glue it right behind, so it's still like a proper card, but it just looks more interesting this way if you do it this way. So I'm starting out by stamping the background stamp onto that panel, that extra panel that you can do with a regular acrylic block. Like, there's no need to use a MISTI or a specific stamping tool. As I said, I'm just using the MISTI because it makes lining up stamps very, very easy. If you have the patience, you can absolutely do this with a regular acrylic block. So don't feel bad if you do not have the MISTI. It's really just like, if you want to make your life easier, it's a good investment, I feel. So I double stamped this because the first impression wasn't as intense as I wanted it to be. This is much better now. And then I lined up this background stamp again. I cleaned it off, of course, quite properly. Picking this up. And this is just some moisture that you saw there. And I double stamped this again. And I know like the rest of this panel will be hidden by the card front anyway. So now I used Jennifer McGuire's tip. It was a new stamp, so I first stamped it, like touched my Versamark ink pad to it so it would hold the ink much better, which worked perfectly. And then I am just going through all the letters, and I'm masking off the other letters with masking tape, as you can see here, to make sure I only apply the ink to one letter because I want to have a gradient effect there. I am using inks by Altenew. And this time I only needed to stamp them once. It also depends on the intensity of the ink. And you can see that I can go through all the letters here quite easily. And since I'm not shifting the stamp or the paper, it's very easy for me to make sure that all the letters are in the perfect position. And since I had the stamping tool out, I also used it for the second part of the sentiment, which is from another stamp set. That's the Pretty Posies stamp set. Because I usually mess up on the sentiment, so that was quite, I knew that I had to use that. And then I'm just doing some basic Copic coloring. Actually, I'm using my Twin Touch Shinhan markers here. I started out with those, but then I'm using Copics for this pattern here. And there is, like, you could use something very, if you look at the other stuff that the design team has done with this stamp, you could do very intricate coloring. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, but I just wanted to have a very easy gradient that reflected the colors that I used on the sentiment. So here I put adhesive at the very top of this panel and foam on the flap here, so it will be glued flush to the card base when you look at it from the side at the top, and then there is some dimension to it right under the flap. I grabbed my perfect pearl, no, that's not perfect pearls, liquid pearls, and added those into the little circles, and it dries with a tiny little bit of dimension but a lot of shimmer. So that was important to me to have this additional interest. And I also enhanced the embossed edge on this die cut shape with my glitter pen. So I hope you got inspired, and I hope you liked the card. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and otherwise I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.